There's numerous examples of groups and other affiliates that broke up, but we don't want to hear it from Griselda right now when they're at the top of their game. Plus, it's family, man. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Brews and Reviews. It's Knowledge, and today I'm reviewing Conway the Machine and Big Ghost Ltd's If It Bleeds, It Can Be Killed. And I am sipping on a Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA. That's a 6% IPA coming in from the well-known brewery in Delaware. So let's get into this well-known MC and see what he's got going on with Big Ghost. Another month, another year, another drop from Conway. He's one of the most productive dudes from the most prolific crew in hip-hop right now. Griselda just keeps getting better, especially Conway, who is actually currently my favorite from the crew. And let's just hope that those rumors aren't true, that he might be leaving Griselda. And that all started with a tweet where he was saying, I can't really be silent anymore. And then somebody asked him, does this mean you're leaving Griselda? And he said, no, I got one album left. So a little bit cryptic, maybe hinting at a departure or that he has some other venture going on after that next album. But let's just hope it's not true, because they work so well together. And frankly, they're just dominating hip hop as a crew right now through hip hop history. There's numerous examples of groups and other affiliates that broke up, but we don't want to hear it from Griselda right now when they're at the top of their game. Plus, it's family, man. If It Bleeds, It Can Be Killed is his third project with Big Ghost Ltd and the follow-up to last year's really good venture, No One Mourns the Wicked. And Big Ghost is starting to be an elite producer in the current climate of hip-hop. Don't sleep on him like you slept on my review of his last project with UFO Feeve, The Ghost of Albazoo. Commencement is the intro, and this is a speech from Lukey Cage, aka Skit God. I think I've heard him previously on a project by 38 Spesh, and he's basically letting us know that in a class full of F students, the D students will shine, but we're about to hear some grade A stuff from Conway right here. So there's no comparison to anybody else in his class. J Batters is the first official song, and man, we get a Griselda type beat from Big Ghost Ltd right here. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying Big Ghost is becoming an elite producer, because he's so diverse. He doesn't necessarily have that signature sound where you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a Big Ghost type beat. No, he more tailors his beats to who he's working with. When he's with Griselda, he's got Griselda type beats. When he's with Ghostface, he's got Ghostface type beats. When he's with Con, he does his style. When he's with UFO Feeve, he does his style. Although he's got a lot of soul, but being versatile is one of his strengths. The title of this track refers to J Batters, another MC from Buffalo that of course is much lesser known than the Griselda crew, but Conway always gives us some great NBA punchlines, and he starts off this album with those, and he says, when I craft a line, God strike me if I spat a lie. Sold 8, played with Snow 2, God, I'm Allen I. I don't need rap, I just contact my guy. He throwing bricks like Shaq at the line when he was past his prime. Even in his prime, Shaq was throwing bricks at the line. Still, this is signature Conway. He also references one of the greats, Slick Rick, here when he says, no rapper is fly except the guy with a patch on his eye. Only one long verse, and this is getting me pulled in with Conway's very familiar double rhyme kind of style. Way We Move, there's a couple different soul samples that are merged together for the backdrop on this. And we got a guest appearance from Shots giving us a rhythmic chorus in between drug bars from Conway. And there's another reference to a great group from hip hop history, Gangstar, when he says that him and Ghost are like Primo and Guru. We're not quite there yet, guys. Give it a little bit longer, a few more projects, and we'll see if you compare to those two. But still, I like Conway's attitude here. He's thinking big. Kill all rats. Love that Griselda signature bass right here. And you're going to hear it on Griselda projects no matter who the producer is. Beat Butcher, Derringer, now Ghost does it really well here. And this one features an MC who's really making moves right now, Ransom. Pretty much everything that I've heard from him recently is incredible. No exception on this song. Although this is a different style of beat for him, he still holds it down with an expert flow. He says, "So accomplished, the corner store is my Oval Office. Slow and cautious, meticulous and sick when I load the cartridge. Blow your cartilage in a million pieces with a brilliant thesis. I'm a god to these gangsters like a Sicilian Jesus." Creative, on point, and intricate rhyme scheme. If you're sleeping on Ransom for some reason, check out his projects now. This also features a verse from another up-and-comer, Streetz, and all three are going back to back with the verses. No need for a chorus when you've got bars from great MCs like these. Toast. This was the single, and I dig the bass guitar and the soul vocal samples, but there's some elements of the beat that are on the high end, like a whistle, and there's some kind of chimes in there that are a little bit distracting. This is not necessarily the beat that I would have chosen for the single, but Conway still holds it down, and he leaves us only to imagine what could have been at the end of the song. He says, "Miseducation when I push the foreign. Only thing this shit missing is a hook from Lauren." I'd love to hear that. Losses to blessings. There was something very familiar about this beat when it came on. Really reminded me of the Jizzes, I Got You Back. And I really think they're sampling the same source that they did on that track, and that's the Marquis Morning After. I think Big Ghost may have slowed down the tempo just a notch on it here, but it definitely sounds like that same sample that was used in I Got You Back. And we get Conway's off-tempo crooning on this that somehow only works on his projects. There's a really nice beat switch, something that Big Ghost has always done really well. I've heard him utilize that many times, but here it's even better because it's symbolic. Because the first verse of this is really about losses, including DJ Shay and talking about his funeral. And the second verse is about blessings, such as Conway getting shot and surviving that. This is really one of the highlights of this whole project to me. Highly praised. Big Ghost also does soul samples really well, which he does here, but Conway's flow is a little experimental. He's slowing it down almost to a crawl. Almost so much that you want to finish his lines for him. And I do admire that Conway likes to play with flow and switch it up. He definitely does that a lot more than many of his contemporaries, people in his crew included, but I don't think this is the right way to switch it up necessarily. This song comes in at 3 minutes. It feels a little bit longer. While it is interesting to listen to at the beginning because it's a different type of flow that we normally get from him, the song drags on, and I don't really see a lot of replay value in this one. Sons of Kings, and we are immediately back with an upbeat type of beat and flow. It's on some old head nod shit, and Knowledge the Pirate comes in with a stellar verse for his guest spot, and the break between the verses on the instrumental down to the scratches at the end really make this another highlight of the album. And really, I think they probably should have led with this as a single. Red Beams, completely different style of beat on this than the previous track. Back to that grimy Griselda bass with synths over the top of it. Perfect for Conway to spit one extended braggadocious verse. He says, "They knew one day I'd be called the GOAT with the bars I wrote. Since my mother's water broke, they highly regarded when I spoke the shit like the lethal injection, but a larger dose." Forever ago. This sees Conway revealing some of his secrets, and I really like the more deep introspective, emotional Conway. It's always a stark contrast to the hard drug and braggadocious bars that we usually get from him and the rest of Griselda. And that's part of the appeal of him in that contrast. And we even get a contrast in this song alone because the first verse is somewhat funny as he's confessing to his girl that he cheated on her with her sister. And one of his excuses is her ass was fat. And hey, if you get caught cheating, maybe don't lead with that on your apology. But the second verse gets much deeper, and Conway opens up some wounds to talk to the listener. He says, got PTSD and I'm bipolar. I compartmentalize. I never try to find closure. I want to see my family straight before my eyes closing. I want to put the drinks down. I need my mind sober. I got 2 sons I gotta be the example for. Need my business straight before another label slam the door. And the beat plays out before a hard stop. Just a perfect end to this album. This is a nice short project to hold us over until Conway's next album. Mostly good, sometimes really good production from Big Ghost Ltd, and the chemistry is very apparent. Definitely not as complete or diverse in subject matter as Conway's From King to a God, and probably not among his top 5 projects, but there are some bangers and some bars here, enough to enjoy for now. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of a 12 pack. Thank you for watching my review of If It Bleeds, It Can Be Killed. If you like this, go ahead and hit like now and hit me up in the comments. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. I drop hip hop and hops related content consistently, so subscribe to my channel now. And until I see you next time, keep buzzing.